Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our law lecturers at Muhammad Ihsan. So today we are from Group 3. Stands by me, I'm Firdaus, Ami Sharif, Nuraza and Firas Ilman are going to present to our Law 1013 assignment that has been fully finished. So this is our table of content. So for the first one is introduction. For the second one is describe the sources of Malaysian law. Third one is explain on which courts that have jurisdiction to try the civil dispute involving Andrea Charlton and the Katulistiwa Haven. For the next one, explain on which courts that have criminal jurisdiction to try the case involving Daniel Kasman. So for the lastly is conclusion. So we are going through to the introduction. So for the introduction, law. Generally, law can be described as a set of rules of conduct and act which is enforceable by the state to harmony and convenience in the country. In Malaysia, the power to settle any legal disputes was handled by the judiciary. So, the purpose of our assignment is to know what are the sources of Malaysian law and how to verify which courts involved based on the cases. So for the next part, I will going to pass with the next presenter, that is Ami Sharif.
So for the question one is describe the sources of Malaysian law. Malaysian law is legislation enacted by former legislative bodies is known as written law. It includes the federal constitution, which is the supreme law. The state government is governed by its own constitution. Parliament and state legislatures are not supreme. They must pass legislation that is consistent with the federal and state constitution. English common law and rules of equity are two types of unwritten law that refer to law derived from judicial decision and legal rules. Then there's case law based on judicial precedent. The customs refers to the tradition surrounding marriage and divorce. Finally, there is the Sharia law, which solely applies to Muslims. So I will pass to next presenter for the question two.
So for number two, question two, explain on which court that have jurisdiction to try the civil dispute involving Andrea Charlton and the Katulistiwa Haven. The issue in this case is whether Malaysian courts have jurisdiction to hear Andrea Charlton's civil case against the Katulistiwa Haven are the subject of this case. The Session Court has jurisdiction to hear the civil dispute in this case. The Session Courts have unlimited jurisdiction over all civil matters such as vehicle accidents, landlord-tenant disputes, distress actions, and other matters where the amount in dispute is less than Rm 1 million. It also hears all criminal cases except those carrying the death penalty. It has broader jurisdiction than the Magistrate Court. Section 64 of the Subordinate Courts Act 1948 Act 92 limits a session judge's power by preventing him from imposing death sentences. In a nutshell, the ideal court for Andrea Charlton to sue the Hotel Katulistiwa Resort is Session Court. Next, I will pass to the next speaker for question 3.
For question number three, which is explain on which court that have criminal jurisdiction to try the case involving Daniel Kasman. The issue in this case whether the lawsuit involving Daniel Kasman should be tried in a subordinate court or a superior court. According to the latter, Daniel Kasman was sentenced to death under Section 302 of the Penal Code. As a result, the High Court will hear this case. This court has criminal jurisdiction over such cases. In Malaysia, the High Court is the third highest court in the court hierarchy, after the Federal Court and the Court of Appeal, and is classified as a superior court. A judge presides over the trial. The Courts of Justice Act of 1964 specifies jurisdiction. In criminal cases, this court has unlimited jurisdiction in this situation. He admitted to sexually assaulting and killing the victim, Emily Carlton, who is disabled and has special needs. Police believe that this case began when she climbs out the window. In summary, because of Daniel pleaded guilty early, the court that would decide on his sentence is the High Court Daniel Superior Court. Next, the conclusion I'll pass to Ayman Firdaus.
So, for the conclusion of our assignment, to conclude, common law will continue to play a significant role in the Malaysian state, despite the passing of countless new pieces of legislation and the development of more Islamic law ideas will become more popular as Malaysia's competitive potential in Islamic finance, the Islamic capital market, and Islamic policy grows. So, that's all from our group, Group 3. Stands by me, Aiman Firdaus, Amir Sharif, Rauza, and Firas Ilman. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.